now Adam and Eve populating the world with fallen children, that's much easier for them to follow the serpent's will rather than God's. Now that's malevolently brilliant. He seems like he not only just won one victory, but he went through a whole string of victories and he succeeded. So the question is, that I pose to you tonight, given those three ground rules we gave earlier, how is God going to redeem us from such a fall? How is it going to be perfect and complete, lacking in nothing? Well, there's two possible ways he can do this, and I'm going to use a football analogy. Before coming up here, I was going to use a baseball analogy, but since the Tigers are no longer playing this season, with the Lions, hope springs eternal. Let's use a football analogy. Let's say, Nick, is it okay if I pick on you since I've been picking? Okay. Let's say we're both rabid football fans, and Nick has his favorite team, I have mine, and all season we're needling each other about who has the best team. And then one year it turns out that both our teams end up in the championship game. Right? So we watch the game together, and we're ribbing each other. And the game is scoreless. No score first quarter, second quarter, third quarter. Finally, in the fourth quarter, Nick's team is about to score. They're on my 1 yard line with only a few seconds left on the clock. So the coach calls their best play. They're going to throw it into the end zone to the best player. The quarterback calls hike. They hike the ball. He throws a perfect pass into the end zone. And guess what happens? My worst player intercepts the pass. Not only does he intercept the pass, but he runs all the way to the next end zone. There's not a player on Nick's team that can stop him. He just weaves in and out, over 100 yards, scores the touchdown, the end of the game. What do you think is going to happen next time Nick and I see each other? Yeah, it's not going to be pretty. I'm going to say, Nick, yeah, we know which team's the best now, don't we? It was a good game, but my worst player was able to intercept your best play in the end zone. He ran. You couldn't even touch him. You couldn't even touch him. So who's the best team, Nick?
Bears.
Thank you. And that concludes my talk. So yeah, I'm going to rib him. I'm going to tell him every little detail of that last play, just because that's how I am. Now, how is his team going to redeem themselves in the most perfect possible way to show that they're really better than me, my team? Well, they could meet in another championship game, maybe next year, and maybe this time, Nick's team blows my team off the field. They win 128-0. Just every time they get the ball, they score. So you can just imagine what happens next time we see it. Nick being so polite and coming up to me and saying, well, I think we more than enough proved to you who the better team is. But if you know me, that would not be good enough, would it? I would say, Nick, congratulations, your team. They're the champions. Great game. We had a total off game. No excuse. But don't say you're the best team. You know why? Because our worst player, on the last play of the game, intercepted your best play. And he ran. You couldn't even stop him. Our worst player. So, okay, congratulations, you're the champion. But, everybody has an off night. So how will Nick's team most perfectly, completely redeem themselves, so to speak, from that initial loss? Well, it'll be another championship game, only this time I'm on Nick's 1 yard line. My quarterback runs their best play, he throws it into the end zone, and the worst player on Nick's team intercepts that pass and he runs 100 yards, scores, we can't stop him, the game's over. What am I going to do the next time we see each other? Nick, that was a really good game. Congratulations, championship game. But our worst no, that doesn't work, does it? But he ran 100. No, that doesn't work either. In fact, every time I think about it, it pains me because not only did you do that, but you're the champion. In a sense, that's an analogy to what God does in the redemption. Christ could have parachuted to earth, made a meritorious sacrifice which was infinite, and he would have redeemed us perfectly, infinitely, for all time. And he still does, by the way. But God, in his mercy, winks back with all those aspects of the fall, all those little trophies that the serpent won in the beginning, by replaying it in a different fashion. Now, I'd like to step through some of these.